This will also give you a better vision for the systems that run through those tunnels, why they're running through the tunnel, and where they end up in a building. They end up right here.
Jess, did you emailed that to my VS? Yeah.
What's happening in here is whatever steam, hot water, chilled water coming into the building ends up in a mechanical room like this with a series of pumps, and it pumps it throughout the building. And the tunnel is here to distribute that water, that product, so it can be used in a building like this. And so I could take you into about any building and show you a room like this, in most cases connected to a tunnel. So here's the other reason why we are very careful in letting people in the tunnel. Because you can bump your head. We also have to tell people there's no asbestos in here. So it's just a way to notify folks, basically don't go in there. But we have to forewarn, and there's a permit required. And so that's why I can't go too far in there, but I can take you far enough that I think you can. Awesome. The reason we did that is, if you're not careful, I've even done it myself. You can bump your head and you come out and it's 10, 13, 15 stitches. So
oh, geez.
More so what we're concerned about, if a person went down there to make a repair in a tunnel, and I say down there because they're always buried, in most cases 2 to 3 feet, in some cases right at the surface, and were to become incapacitated for whatever reason. Maybe they just ran out of breath and fell to the ground, or they got hurt, nobody would know they were in there, and that's not a good thing. So we have a tunnel permit process that requires us to have a radio, and somebody outside here has to have a radio. We have to notify folks that we're going into the tunnel so that we can keep tabs of where you're at and how you're doing. And then we have the hard hat requirements, because when you look in there, you can see how easy it would be if you're working and not paying attention to bump yourself, and next thing you know, you're bleeding and you got a problem. So we'll peek in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is one of the newer tunnels, and it's connecting to a building. It doesn't have all the systems you would see in that main tunnel down there. Mm-hmm. And I may walk you down anyway, let you see what's up there. But I'm not sure we can get up and over here. But let me get this door propped open. So you see we have high voltage. Now, it's protected, but you just never know. I mean, you can't have anybody down here doing any welding or cutting near this that'll arc and cause problems, because that amount of voltage, it's not good. Hot water, this is the geothermal hot water. That's chilled water, and somewhere back here is steam. So it gives you a good idea what we're distributing through the tunnels. Steam converted back, or when you extract the heat, becomes water below 212 degrees. So somewhere down here's the condensate line. So that's steam in, that's water out, which takes less space because steam is a gas, water is a liquid. And after you use the heat that's in there, it becomes a liquid again, and we pump it back and just recycle it. We make hot water from the geothermal process, use that hot water to heat the buildings, preheat domestic water, and then we return it and do that all over again. We do the same thing with chilled water. Water in there that's cold, pick up heat, and somewhere back here is a return line. So that's what's hanging in here. And then communications are probably up in this pipe, so to protect it. So that brown pipe that's, or excuse me, gray pipe that's up there has probably got communication systems in it. So anyway, it's a cornucopia of whatever services it takes to run a building.
Right.
This is not indicative of all our tunnels because it's so spacious. We just haven't clogged it with a lot of stuff yet, and it's only feeding this building. The main tunnels are more compacted with systems, as you'll see when we get up here, because they carry those systems and distribute to multiple buildings.
Are there more systems that are going to be put into this one?
In this one, probably not, but you know, there could be a day when I'm extending something else. I don't know what it would be right now, and I need space, so I'd probably use the space down here. Or I may have to use space up against this wall. What we have to keep in mind is as we stack these, I also got to be able to get in and repair them if something happens. So they're in there with that in mind. That I've got expansion valves like this here, so that if I have to replace the cylinder, it's freely giving because temperatures ebb and flow. This will move a little bit. I can pull this out and replace it if I need to. Do you mind climbing up and over?
Okay.
You be real careful. I think that's a little farther I want to take you, so nobody gets, including myself, gets
Is it okay if I leave my bag over here?
Sure. That gets you an idea of, again, what are the better tunnels, because it's just not as clogged yet, but you can see the systems are hanging off of the roof structure, the walls.
In which direction is this going?
This is heading east, so we are right, I'd say so, somewhere between the entrance into Emmons and the entrance into Art Communications. We're kind of in between there. If I were to take you probably about 40 feet that direction, there's another tunnel section that splits off and goes up into that building.